Vault 13 was first featured in the very first Fallout game, and in this video I'll be covering the entire history of this vault, including talking Deathclaws, the Enclave, the Brotherhood of Steel, the Master and his super mutant army, and much more, so stick around to hear all about it. Construction of Vault 13 started on August 2063. It was completed in March 2069, making it the last vault on the west coast to be completed. The starting budget for Vault 13 was $400 billion, although it ended up costing $645 billion. The vault was designed to support up to 1,000 occupants in its 100 designated living quarters, meaning at maximum capacity there would be 10 people in each of the small living quarters. vault-tec equipped the vault with a solar scorcher, an experimental photoelectric weapon that harnessed the power of sunlight as an energy source. As well as this, Vault 13 had heavy machinery for construction projects, sustainable hydro-agricultural farms, and a water purification system sourced from a subterranean river. The dwellers enjoyed social gatherings and had enough entertainment material provided to last the projected duration of their stay. It also had a GEC, also known as the Garden of Eden creation kit, which could be used on the surface when the vault opened up to terraform the barren wasteland above into fertile ground to start rebuilding. Vault 13 was a control group for the Societal Preservation Program. It was intended to be sealed until the subjects were needed by the Enclave, according to President Dick Richardson. However, according to the Fallout Bible, the purpose of Vault 13 was to remain closed for 200 years as a study of prolonged isolation. Sometime prior to December 5th, 2161, Vault 13's water purification chip began to malfunction. The Overseer began to send Vault 13 residents out into the wasteland to find a replacement chip. Tallius was sent out to search for a replacement chip, but was unfortunately captured by Nightkin at Necropolis, and was later dipped into FEV, only to mutate into a ghoul-like mutant similar to Harold before he became a tree. He wound up with the followers of the Apocalypse, far away from Vault 13. The final Vault Dweller selected for the mission by the Overseer was the Vault Dweller who you play as in the first Fallout game. On December 5th, 2161, the Vault Dweller left the vault with a 10mm pistol and some supplies, and the location of Vault 15. The water chip had finally failed at that point, which meant the vault only had 150 days worth of water reserves. After braving the dangers of New California, the Dweller finally returned with the water chip in February 2162, after recovering it from beneath Necropolis at Vault 12. The Overseer was pleased, especially as there had been a rebel faction grown in the vault demanding to leave. Upon reviewing the Vault Dweller's report, in particular about the mutants at Necropolis, he calculated that the mutant population was far too large to be the result of random chance, and concluded that there had to be a factory somewhere producing them at a startling rate. Determining that it was a threat to the vault, the Overseer once again sent the Vault Dweller back into the wasteland, where he succeeded in looting and killing the leader of the super mutant army called the Master, and destroyed the Master's command center known as the Cathedral in March 2162. On April 20th, 2162, the Vault Dweller completed his mission, killing the Master's right-hand man, or mutant, the super mutant called Lieutenant, or sometimes Lou for short, and destroying the Mariposa military base, which contained the vats of FEV used to create the mutants. The Vault Dweller returned to Vault 13 on May 10th, 2162. The Overseer met them outside the vault door, and rather than let them back inside as a hero, he banished them into the wasteland. He was convinced that the Vault Dweller's presence in the vault would encourage other residents to seek their fortune in the wasteland and abandon the vault, putting the rest of the vault at risk. In his opinion, by banishing the Vault Dweller, he was doing his job and keeping everyone safe. However, the population of Vault 13 was disgusted by the Overseer's decision. A faction led by Teresa and Lyle rebelled against him, and many residents left the vault in protest. Those who remained believed that those who left had perished in the wasteland and arrested the Overseer. He was then tried and sentenced to death, and the position of Overseer was abolished. If you're still watching at this point, then please consider leaving a like or subscribing for more videos like this one. It really does help the channel. Anyway, let's get back into it. With the death of the Overseer and the abolishment of the position of Overseer after the betrayal that the Vault Dweller had suffered, the residents of Vault 13 commissioned the Brotherhood of Steel to acquire and install a mainframe computer to automatically control and regulate Vault 13. The Vault Dweller and his group journeyed north into the wilderness of North Carolina and Oregon, where they ultimately founded a small village called Arroyo. Protected by the Badlands and canyons, rather than trying to build a town, they created a new community with a tribal culture. Over the span of 80 years, Vault 13 turned into a myth, known as Holy 13. In 2241, the grandchild of the Vault Dweller, known as the Chosen One, was sent to find Vault 13 and retrieve the Gek to save the dying village during a drought. Vault 13, however, was seized by the Enclave earlier that year. On the 15th of May, they sent a coded sequence to Vault 13, activating its central computer with an all-clear signal. The spokesman for Vault 13 promptly went through the emergence protocol, playing the Leaving the Vault training video provided by vault-tec for the residents gathered inside the vault, and ensured all of the preparations were complete. A day later, on May 16, 2241, the vault was opened and they were met by 2 assault squads from the Enclave, who opened fire, killing 3 Vault Dwellers on the spot and stormed the vault. The residents of the vault were rounded up and sent to the oil rig that was Enclave headquarters. On May 17, 2241, a pack of intelligent Deathclaws was deployed to the now empty Vault 13 by Enclave animal handlers to cover up the operation. However, the pack did not obey orders. The pack leader organised a proper community in the confines of the vault. As these intelligent Deathclaws could talk, he used the voice recognition in the mainframe to provide for the pack. A small community of humans joined the Deathclaws in the vault, usually refugees rescued from the wasteland, and they lived peacefully together. Unfortunately, it was not to last, as a random wastelander named Matt stumbled upon the vault and decided the intelligent Deathclaws were a threat to humanity, so he decided to try to eliminate them. He did this by first bombing the matriarch Kerith and her hatchlings, killing them. After that, the Deathclaws restricted his movement in the vault, giving him free roam of the lower levels of the vault, but he was not allowed to level 1 where the exit was. Next, Matt destroyed the voice module and then disabled all keyboard input on the mainframe, rendering it useless and forcing them to raid human settlements in the area, preying on NCR Brahmin herds in order to survive, which would eventually lead to them being discovered. The Chosen One discovered Vault 13 and recovered the Gek, but at the same time as this, the Deathclaws were deemed a security threat, and a team under Frank Horrigan returned to Vault 13 and succeeded in wiping out the Deathclaws and their human cohorts, leaving the vault empty. So ended the story of Vault 13. Did you know this story? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do leave a like, comment down below and subscribe. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.